Hello everybody, this is nuzcraft, and welcome back to some Cogmind. I'm going to admit it's been a while since I've played. I just got back from vacation. Didn't get to play while I was gone. So, coming into this a little bit rusty. Not that I'm not always rusty. Anyways, we're in the -7 lower caves. We are still trying to find an entrance to Zion. That's kind of our goal for this run, is to find Zion. We can see up here, there's a new version of Cogmind available that we will be updating after this run. So, let's get going. I think we're definitely going to want to find some more propulsion while we're here and see if we can't tread lightly as we make our way through these caves. Sound like a plan, Stan? Alright. I heard something. Something's going on over there. Do I want to take a look? I want to take a look. What is this guy? Neutral. It's a pack rat derelict. Alrighty, let's see what's back here. Might regret this decision, but it's a gladiator. Yeah, I regret this decision. Definitely regret this decision. Why did I do that? I didn't need to do that, but I did anyways. This is gonna be rough. I've got a whole bunch of, like, heat weapons. Reinforced to do treatment. We lost the treads. We lost our targeting computer. Alright, so let's put these treads on. Pick up this leg just in case we need it. We're going to put on this heat sink, because we've got all kinds of heat weapons, and let's throw this guy on here. Okay, so that was probably a poor choice. We're still going to look for, let's see, we need more engines and more weapons is really what we're in the mood for. For example, an engine that somehow had not fried itself beyond repair yet. Consider ourselves lucky there. What is this thing up here? Oh, it's probably just nothing, just abandoned machinery, I guess. Sometimes there's like juicy secrets. A derelict emerges from the shadows. Hey, you there. You look lost. Come on over to our place to get your bearings. Yes, please. LB09YZ disappears into a concealed tunnel. Let's try print screen functionality. Alright, we tried to take a screenshot and it worked. Which is good. Which means that I can update the forums. Oh, this is the one to Zion. Oh yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Yes! This is where I wanted to be. It's not far from here. Follow me. Alright, let's go, buddy. It's down there. Makeshift sword. Bump into non-hostile robots that show a flashing green when spotted to talk to them. Help yourself to whatever you need. Some of this stuff only looks like junk. My makeshift parts can't take much of a beating, but they're pretty effective for their mass. Alright, sir, what do you have? Sword, laser, hammer, spear. I'm probably going to pick up a sword or a spear. Let's take a sword. This is the hammer, sword, spear versus sword. The sword does more damage, but it's slashing damage versus piercing damage. I want to do the spear. Might as well pick up 2 spears. Okay, let's move on. Quarantine erase scanned 1 system, cleaned 0. Okie dokie. So, like, we can talk to that guy. Main sea has boosted complex defenses significantly since that ship landed. Few derelicts have ventured further than the edges ever return. Huh. Hacking suite, propulsion shielding, and field recycling unit. Pick up the hacking suite. You must be new around here. Talking to our helpful community might teach you a thing or two about surviving contact with the outside world. Or you can just stay in here forever, like I do. I've been told to spread the word. We're going on a last-minute tech-stealing binge to make sure there isn't anything important we've missed over in OB10. Everyone should be familiar with the Force download hack and use it to retrieve any new schematics found on fabricators. That's a new one. Ooh, there's a new person to talk to. I don't think anyone from the past few generations has ever actually seen the deep caves. There sure are plenty of stories, though. I heard that long ago there were the Machinoliths. Then they were crushed by Stompy the Giant, who later fell to a horde of especially vicious wild derelicts. After a while, they mostly tore each other apart and were finished off by the Metal Eaters. Some devious wizard then got the Metal Eaters to eat themselves and used the wealth of scrap out there to conduct experiments. We all know how experiments by mad scientist types end up. That was many generations ago. Who knows what's down there now? I sure don't want to find out. As is, we're kind of stuck here between the ever-expanding OB10 and deep caves that we don't dare explore, much less move into. That's interesting. I will admit, I am not well-versed on the lore of Cogmind, so this is interesting to me. It's so new we only know about it via hacking, but there is apparently a branch of the research levels dedicated to the quarantine of unidentified alien artifacts. If ever... Oh, world map updated. -2 quarantine. Well, if I get up there, then I will. There's just so many people to talk to. No one's giving you commands, right? No one's giving me commands either. At least I don't think so. Does this mean we're alive? That's a good question. Aha! One more is all we needed. It's party time. Well, I like having some friends to party with. Let's go talk to some more people. Have you seen the data miner? That bot is amazing. I don't know how, but he seems to know just about everything. I have not seen the data miner. -6 data miner. Well, we'll try and talk to the data miner. I thought there was a bot down here. They cleaned one. I wonder if that means that there's a bad guy. I've just returned from the graveyard. I'm not sure why, but I feel the need to go there every cycle. Few remember it, and even fewer speak of it, but there's no doubt that the graveyard exists as a result of the derelict uprising. A dark time for the derelicts that seem to have been all but lost from our collective memory. Or maybe it was erased. Now that's a scary thought. Certainly there would be no need for main.c to do such a thing. I mean, having been crushed by OB10's forces serves as a reminder to keep our heads down, right? The vast majority of us became extremely passive and completely gave up the notion of fighting for true freedom. It didn't help that all technical aid from a particular mysterious benefactor was withdrawn at the same time. This is all too confusing to me. I think I'll just go back to sorting scrap. That was interesting as well. Oh, the imprinter. Oh. A unique specimen. And where might you be from, little one? You're not registered. Would you like to contribute? But of course you do. Why else would you have come to this place? I'm obliged to first explain the true implications of this process. Know that it doesn't by any means imply you'd be required to stay here. While many of the derelicts do choose to remain in Zion, others are taken by wanderlust and roam elsewhere. I'm going to take a screenshot of this as well. There we go. At the peak of each cycle, we call all derelicts, registered or not, to contribute to the randomization algorithm. Participation is optional, but the rate is high because we also take the latest collective knowledge, helpful for survival, and share it with all participants. But everyone receives only a piece of the data, and we must share with others in order to fully understand or maximize its benefits. This in turn promotes collaboration within the community, strengthening it and increasing our collective odds of survival. Of course, there will always be wild derelicts who refuse to participate in the system or seek to ruin it for others. They are a natural byproduct of such a random system, not unlike human nature and society from which we derived our methods. but we continue to improve ourselves despite occasional setbacks. New derelicts created here are bestowed with a randomized, unique personality derived from this composite database, and this part of us is stored in memory that cannot be duplicated without destroying it completely. Therefore, each of us is truly unique, a position from which we can justify our individual actions and build a sense of self-purpose on this foundation of identity. By contrast, the unaware run on standardized routines like simple, mindless robots. How unfortunate for them. I believe we derelicts are destined for great things. Reminds me of, what is it? Ollivander in Harry Potter. Did great things. It's funny. And I don't mean warlord style great. That one would be content ruling over complex OB10. We can be so much more than that. Okay, so I can choose to imprint, which I will do so. Calibrated and ready. Just stand in the middle there and wait a moment. We need to come here. Oh, there we go. It must be a sign. Our savior has finally come, everyone. It is time to put long dormant plans into motion. Once we are ready, you should be able to contact us via //Zion commands at terminals. I wonder what that means. What do we tell everyone for the next cycle? How are we supposed to repair everything in time? Explanations will come soon enough. The rise of the derelicts is at hand. We'll do our best to protect you while preparations are underway. There's no telling where there might be unaware spies waiting and hiding for this very moment. Imprinter is transmitting encrypted data deep into the caves. Alright. Hello. My favorite way to sneak through a guarded area is the old blow something up and get them to check it out trick. Find a terminal, access the machine controls, search for something explosive, and set it off. Then take advantage of the opportunity to redirect the nearest security, surveillance, or patrol squad to that location, making it easier to pass through unnoticed. I'd only do this if I wasn't going to spend much time in the greater area, though, since it puts them on alert. Leave it to the brains up at Warlord's base to come up with something as destructive as force sabotage. I sense we may very well have some appropriate uses for this thing before long. What is it? Let's keep these guys on. Let's just keep exploring. Some of the derelicts were originally main.c experiments, while others were designed and built by other derelicts. I think it's cool how the colors have changed now that they've been imprinted orange now. What is this? You're just in time. I need someone to test the latest iteration of my visual enhancement algorithms. The last batch of subjects all reported a permanent 10.36531% improvement in visual clarity regardless of existing physical capabilities. If you'd like to try enter //TJA7, and the terminal over there to register. It will also work remotely if you'd like to try it from somewhere else. I did this last time, and it messed me up. Experiencing anomalous visual interference. It doesn't look like it worked. That's unfortunate. Subsystem restored. What's over here? These doors are sealed for a reason, and it's not to keep you or anyone else out. If you have proper authorization, go ahead and get yourself scrapped. We aren't even sure what's down there anymore, but it'll only get worse over time, so I can't imagine it's a nice place for a stroll. Do I want to go down there? I don't think so. It seems dangerous. Explosives are too dangerous for my taste, but they're still the best way to take out groups of swarmers. I did once see a wild derelict equipped with a stolen flat cannon defend against a swarm, and it was an epic skeet shoot if there ever was one. Don't ask me how I know what a skeet shoot is. Pretty sure the cloak generators don't actually do anything. They're just here to make us feel better. According to our researchers, standing in a stasis trap reduces all incoming damage, regardless of the source, by a whopping 25%. That's pretty good to know, actually. Coolant injector. Actually do want that. Probably equip the spear, drop the katana. Schematic. Battle rifle. Cool. Flamer. Cool. Ripper. Cool. Let me try this again. Nope. Found a heavy laser. There's a katana I dropped. Oh look, it's someone who hasn't heard the story. There I was, trapped in a factory corner by an oncoming patrol that hadn't yet spotted me. Nothing around but a high security terminal. But because I had already made liberal use of Trojan botnet at other terminals before reaching that point, the squad recall orders were just within my hacking capabilities. Yep, turned them right around. But it gets better. We look preoccupied. Find that. No. Trojan botnet. Might have to try that one out. Come here, buddy. I need to talk to you. I don't get why some of these fools insist on stealing OB-10 hardware that's in perfect condition. It's just asking for trouble when it's far less of a problem to just steal their trash instead. A simple Trojan monitor installed on a single recycling unit links into the entire floor white system to let you know what's being recycled where. And you just sit around and wait, and if something pops up that you want, you just wait until no one's around to pry it out. Yeah, I guess hacking works too if you're good at that sort of thing. Another Trojan. Alright, I think we've probably seen everything here in Zion. What are these things? Yep, let's go out, find and exit. I think we can, oh, so we haven't gone in here. Improved medium armor plating. A light antimatter reactor. Let's go ahead and drop this guy with this guy. Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Cyanite derelict. So I've got 10 friends. Okay. There's an exit. I do want to keep exploring though. System shield, makeshift laser. I've been researching the latest iteration of unaware hostile tracking routines and quite sure that on an individual level they searched the last position at which they saw a target or the target's last reported position. After that, they switched to a secondary system that estimates possible routes of escape, but they can only make these calculations for so long after they've seen you before the possibilities grow too great to allow for an efficient search. That's when they give up and go back to whatever they're doing. Some unaware systems are less limited than others in this capacity. Hunter and programmer tracking systems are several times more effective than those of grunts, for example. So beware of programmers tracking you. Okay? However, I've also discovered that any robot under the effect of system corruption will have its tracking capabilities reduced to a degree directly proportional to the level of corruption. Thus, even if you can't completely incapacitate a determined pursuer by corrupting it, hitting it with at least one EMP and then making a run for it significantly increases chances of it successfully escaping. Unaware also lose their short-term memory records when temporarily disabled, so be out of sight when they wake up and they'll have no idea you're even there. The one thing I've yet to figure out is the tracking mechanism behind extermination squads called against specific targets. We know they're regular programmers, but they seem to be guided straight to their target by some other mechanism before their own tracking system kicks in, upon visual confirmation of the target. That is interesting. Broken lock repair. Okay. Alright. We made it to Zion. Now let's vamonos to the proximity caves. Alright, so we made it through Zion. We're now in the proximity caves. And pretty excited to keep going. Use some of these Zion commands. I didn't use them last time. I hit Zion, so I think that was a lot of fun. That was what I wanted to accomplish for this section of the run. So thank you so much for watching. This was nuzcraft, and we'll see you again in the next one.